Better than Lego. Better than Lego.
Matthew Johns is in position for a long-range shot. He's with it now, Matthew Johns. Here goes the kick from Johns.
Hello and welcome to the Johns Family Podcast for this week, people. Hope you've had a good week. We're going okay. Patricia, Jack
doing great.
Johns, Cooper Johns, how are you all?
I'm good, Matt.
Loving the
Shirt?
picnic basket or the rug, the picnic rug you're wearing today, Cooper.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I was expecting you to say the drapes or something like that as
I
well.
would
the
not have
blinds.
drapes like that in my house.
Really? Well, thank you. I wanted to wear something different
It's a
today.
tablecloth.
It looks good.
Yeah.
It looks good, like you're a skater.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, Wizard Sleeve.
I liked
you
the
with the Wizard
effort.
Sleeve last week.
I like the effort Jack's gone to. Another black shirt. Nice.
Love it, mate.
Jack, you kind of remind me of Homer Simpson, where I reckon if we opened your closet, you just have 50 black shirts in there.
I've got well, it's not true. I've got a grey, a navy, and a black. So
On
how about
repeat.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, numerous of each,
Me and
I'd
Jack,
say.
me and Jack are very similar. I used
Yeah.
to wear the same clothes all the time. I used
Yeah.
to have this sort of collared green shirt I used to wear with tracksuit pants, and I didn't realise I wore it every single day till I accidentally heard some of the players talking about me, going, "Does he ever wash that?" And I thought,
I walked in the other day with a blue shirt on, and I swear to God, just about every player come up to me and noticed that I was wearing a different shirt.
Different colour.
It is the running joke up there, eh? Everyone always says they'll always guarantee Jack's wearing black on black with white socks and white shoes.
well, that's your catch cry, mate. You know, everyone's got to have their thing.
Black's
I'm a
very
simple man.
You-
I'm a very simple
well,
man, and I'm okay with that.
Black's very slimming.
It is, and consistency is underrated form
Attribute.
in my opinion. Now, guys,
Mm-hmm.
we've got a lot to get through today, so let's get into it. If you were an ice cream flavour, which would you be and why?
I'd be.
Can I kick off?
Yeah, go
Yeah,
on.
sure.
Go.
Well, on that theme, I've gone with vanilla for obvious reasons.
Nice, well played.
Yes.
Well, I'd go Ferrero Rocher because I'm quite nutty and got some chunky bits.
Yeah,
Sure have.
well played.
Oh,
I had rainbow, and a fact. Did you know rainbow is just I think it's either caramel or vanilla.
It's
Caramel.
Caramel.
yeah, I knew that.
It's weird, eh?
Yeah.
My taste buds knew that.
I remember going they used to have the caramel. Used to have caramel paddle pops,
They
and then they
did.
brought the rainbow out,
and they
I
tasted
went,
the same.
It's the same one.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it's a placebo for kids. Like
Yeah.
they think, oh, it tastes like, you know.
Oh, interesting,
course it
controversial.
is.
I reckon a bit like jelly beans are a bit like that.
Nah.
Yeah,
They have
I know what you
distinct
mean.
flavours.
Yeah.
No, but I think most of them do, but there's some.
Black,
You get to like your
more-
red and your blue ones where they're just, I reckon they're just the
Slightly
same.
different.
See, I like the white. I like the orange and the red. They're very distinct.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Jack, you're a jelly bean guy. What do you make of different jelly bean flavours?
What in the hell has made you assume that I'm a jelly bean?
Because whenever you were sick, you always used to ask for jelly beans from the chemist.
How long ago are we talking, Trish?
When you're a little boy.
Yeah, when you first started to be able to talk. Yeah, when you were
So
three.
actually, in all honesty, you're probably 17.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
still
wow.
liking those
Really?
jelly beans.
When we
Yeah.
used to change your nappy when you're 17. I've gone Jaffa. Jaffa ice cream used to be my favourite, which made me think.
Is that orange colour?
It's got an orange sort of tang to it. So I like orange chocolate.
You love orange chocolate.
But Jaffa ice cream was awesome. I haven't seen it around for ages.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a Jaffa ice cream.
Italian egg cream.
I thought you'd be
Italian egg cream.
Italian egg, yeah.
Oh, the
That's
one
what you
down
get
at
down
Colorado. Let the people know if you enjoy a good ice cream. Let's face it, who doesn't? Down at Colorado, what's the one called? It's if you do a
I don't
left-hand
know
turn
what
at
it's
the
called,
lights.
actually. Mateos, yeah.
Yeah, it's Mateo's there, an ice cream shop. Oh my God, there's one at Leichhardt as well. It's
And fresh water.
at Freshwater, pretty
Yeah.
amazing. How's your week been, boys?
Mate, Jack, how about you? Why don't you kick us off with your week?
Regale us.
I had a pretty busy week. I had a few assignments due for uni, so I had to smash them out. Plus, we had a big week of training leading into the game on the weekend where the boys got up against the Raiders, which was good.
How's your ankle, by the way? How is it?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
It's all good, Cobb. I ended up playing in the cup game on the weekend, and
Yeah, you played very well.
it got through the game and all good. Sweet.
Now, we're not going to, of course, coming up this weekend, we've got the Knights versus the Manly
Manly.
Seagulls, right?
In
In
Mudgee.
recording this, we don't know how the sides are going to look, but there is the odd chance
Just don't
that
know,
you
do you?
guys
anything
Might
could
play
happen.
one
Against each
another.
other.
Anything could happen.
Just want to make this point, guys. It's not about you guys. It's about the 2 points.
No,
okay,
no.
so no mug Larry. I'm looking at you, Cooper. I'm not looking at Jack.
I know this will be one of the greatest. If this happens, this will be one of the greatest feud rugby league's ever seen. One of the great battles. Do you agree, Jack?
Sorry?
He seems keen.
Yeah,
He's ready to go.
Me
He's
and Mum
not
actually, we actually
invested.
drove up to watch Jack play on the weekend, and
We
I
did.
will say, Jack, you went good, mate. You made me proud. You did.
Oh,
No,
good.
you did.
Hey, thanks, Wayne Bennett.
No, you did. But
You've been to watch him twice
What,
now.
um,
Yeah,
I'm
she
impressed.
What about, can we talk about, just quietly, that Nico bloke, the interviewer at the end of your game on the weekend?
Nico Hines.
No,
How well Nico
from
Hines
Beck-
played.
from-
No,
on Fox.
Nico Hines had 7 tries this on the weekend.
Yeah, young Nico at Fox Sports, who is a champion young guy, does a lot of great stuff with the UFC. And he also interviews the guys after the New South Wales Cup, and boy, didn't he own you.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Lucky we weren't at the UFC because I would have bloody dropped him there and then if we weren't on the footy field. Yeah, sweet Nico interviewed me. See, the thing you don't see on the camera is his bottom right hand. He kind of initiated when where someone wants to shake your hand, but like he must have wigged out thinking I wasn't going to shake it. And then I went to walk off and thought, oh, no, I'll shake his hand. So I put my hand out, and then he's looked the other direction, and then the camera's just cut out. So it looks like I've just been completely made a fool out of. But then, like, a second later, he sees my hand and shakes it. I remember saying, I sat there to one of the cameramen behind the thing, and I said, oh, I bet you that's going to go on Dad's show. I was like, if they get their hands on this, they're going to air it. And, yeah.
Sure enough.
Yeah, it did. And hurt me.
Very, very good. Training, boys, this week. Well, look, you're off to Mudgee, which is special significance for our family because my grandmother,
June?
she was a publican. She grew up in Mudgee. My mum grew up in Mudgee. And
Was your mum born there?
she was born there.
Yeah.
I didn't know
And she was, yeah.
It's a beautiful town.
My grandmother was a publican by herself. When Poppy Ken, the grandfather, left June for a blonde woman to move to the Gold Coast. Let's face it, we all want to.
She was an interesting woman, wasn't she? I met her once. I met your grandfather once.
I've never seen
Before his
someone
passing?
constantly have a headache all the time.
Her?
Yes, non-stop. Interesting woman. He was an interesting guy, though. Remember we got up there and he took me to a nightclub, took me to Melba's.
Well, not when I was there, but yeah, I remember the other
another
times.
time. He was like 81. He said, you ever been to Melba's? And I went, yeah, but not with my grandfather.
Now you have.
And of course, when like an old fella who's 80 years old's at a nightclub, and so a lot of the young girls come up and they're sort of, oh, look at this, he's an old fella.
Isn't he cute?
He was going, still got it.
Don't swear.
He was going, yeah, I've still got it. And I'm going, oh my God, this is
Gross.
Oh, well, he was a bit of a prize.
Is he still around?
Prize to look at.
rest in peace, old mate.
Oh, is he
Old
rest in
Poppy
peace?
Can.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, mate.
Yeah, but that's all right.
Yeah.
But no, my grandmother, June, she ran a pub there for
Yeah.
years, got arrested at one point for being an SP bookie.
She did.
And when they arrested her and gave her the fingerprinting, the sergeant there said, June, we know how tough you're doing in the pub. Keep doing it. Just don't get caught next time, which is very, very
Sweet.
nice.
Well, Trish, why don't you start us off with your week? How about you?
Oh, well, I've just been arriving around everywhere watching you boys play footy. Mother of the year.
my
My entire weekend was consumed with football. This is not how I envisioned my life. Let me tell you.
Yeah, well, you married in, Trish.
Yeah.
Brandon Smith. Can I say something about our dear mate Brandon?
Sweet Brandon.
One of the things I love about Brandon is that he says what he thinks. He sort of mouth goes at a certain pace, and the brain's half a step behind. But Brandon, don't
Is it
change.
behind or
'cause
is it ahead?
Maybe it's ahead.
Maybe
Nah,
it's ahead. I think
I
you're...
don't think it's ahead. He said just enough things that have got him in trouble with that mouth that I'm pretty sure
okay.
he hasn't said.
But I must say the stuff he said on Joseph Swali'i and the rugby union stuff,
was
like
very
it was in
funny.
good. It was in jest, some of it, but it was very, very funny.
So when is Sualihi going to rugby union?
2025. He's going to go there for
So all this hoo-ha now for another 2 years.
1.6 million they're saying. And look, I'll tell you something. 18 months, his trajectory of improvement, it might be a steal at that price. And
maybe.
you know what? Good on him.
How long's he signed
Because-
for? 4 years.
I
to
think
cover
it's
the next World
Three.
Cup?
3 years.
3 years.
3
Yeah.
years. Cover the next World Cup.
Yeah, right.
He'll go away. 18 months at the Roosters. He might pinch a grand final during that time. Goes across, might win the World Cup, and then come back. There's no doubt he's following the lead of Sonny Bill Williams.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't think he's doing it for that reason. I mean, $1.6 million is probably enough to get
Can you
anyone
live
over
on
there.
that? Can you
What
live
do you
on
reckon he's on
1.6?
now?
Oh, I don't know. Well, not 1.6 million.
Yeah, but 1.6 for how long?
A year.
A year.
Bull.
Yeah. Bull.
Oh my God.
Raging bull.
No.
You want
use
to
words
practice
like
your
bull.
lineouts, Trish.
My
Yeah.
what?
Your lineouts.
Oh, no, I
That's-
can't
that's
bear. I
why
never
it's
understood rugby union.
Yeah, no, lineouts, not. Yeah.
That's why Brandon said in the media, he said, having a dig at the
okay.
Wallabies, he said a $1.6 million
Winger.
isn't still going to help you beat the All Blacks.
I did hear that.
So
Yeah.
sweet, Brandon.
Yes, it was a bit of that All Blacks banter we have with the Wallabies.
Mm.
This is wonderful.
Yeah, it is.
You want to be careful though, Brandon. I can see him getting bashed by old men in tweed jackets.
Do you know, but we've got a
They're
World
scary,
Cup this
man.
year in
Boat
Paris.
shoes.
We've got World Cup, Rugby Union World Cup
Yeah.
in Paris this year. I know
Yeah,
quite a
there's
few
one this
people
year.
going.
Is there one this year
Yeah,
as
in
well?
Paris. Yeah.
Yeah. In 2020, that's 2023, and then 4 years, 2027. That's why they've got
So
him.
that's
for
why they've got him for the next
3
one.
years.
I thought the next World Cup was 2025.
No,
No,
no.
it's this year.
Yeah.
Well,
But I will say, just like you said, those old men with tweed jackets, those private school fathers can be a lot, can they?
Oh yes.
Remember
They
there
used-
was one, Cooper, in I think it was your year,
There used to be
that used to scream.
Yeah, there's plenty of them. There used to
Man,
be
this one was next level.
there's a website. I'm trying to remember what it was, but me and all the boys. So it was full of all like the GPS fathers and all the big private school fathers, and it was like a chat forum for all of them to discuss who they thought should make the rep teams and all that.
Oh no.
There's a
Swear
lot of
on
that.
my life,
Yeah.
we used to go on it and just piss ourselves laughing.
Yeah.
They were bagging out kids like in year 10,
Yeah.
saying that they haven't got it, haven't got the mentality to make it, shouldn't be getting picked. I was reading this thing just going, what's going on?
Yeah.
Who breeds people like this?
Yeah. And they're breeding another generation,
I know.
sadly.
There is another generation coming.
Remember once there was a guy you played with, and his dad used to they used to turn up 2 hours before the game because we used to get there. We used to get there for Jack's game if it was early, and vice versa. And he used to bring a tackling bag and make his son do like literally 30 minutes worth of tackling.
And he's the one that used to scream his name out through the game.
Yeah, yeah.
We won't call out that name.
Nah.
Like,
but I
it was
tell you what,
horrifying. And the wife wouldn't sit anywhere near him. She was mortified.
no, he reminded me of like those army guys. He kind of reminded me of Commando off The Biggest Loser.
Yeah.
Like he would sit there with this big yellow tackling bag while we were about to warm up and getting strapped, and we're watching his son just tackle it relentlessly while he's screaming at him. And to be fair, his son could hit. His son, he had plenty of reps doing it.
Unfortunately, his son didn't hit his dad.
Well, he may have now. I haven't seen that young
We were
one.
having a conversation. He actually wasn't. I used to go, "Oh, mate, this guy." But he actually, once I had a discussion with him, he wasn't a bad guy. He
The
got
dad?
There, yeah, he got there. We're discussing. I think he was a rep player, and we were talking about it once. I said a typical rugby league comment. Oh, sake, referee, will you just let him play? And he was one that pointed out, he said, Matty, this is the dark arts, the thing that happened underneath the ruck and maul. He was a nice guy. Like, I didn't really listen to what he was saying because it was boring as dirt. But he wasn't a bad fella. But, geez, he drove his son tough. I used to make notes to say, maybe that's what I should be doing. Trisha.
Yes, my darling.
What else is going? What have
You know what, Matt, let me ask you. How are you going with your 75 hard? Because you're past halfway now. And you haven't
Yes.
cracked yet. Actually, the weekend was the very first time I heard you say, I could have a beer today.
Yeah.
Today I feel like a beer. It's the first time.
It was. Jack, thoughts on that?
Are you proud of him?
You're over the hump, but I reckon you're about to go through a real dark period, Cobber.
Yeah.
I think that now you're going to get to the point where, yes, you feel healthy, but you're going to start to need to let off some steam somewhere. And this is a danger because new habits could build and worse habits like serial killing,
Yeah, thought about that.
addictions to porn.
Yeah.
Addictions
Well,
to porn.
too
That's a
late for
huge
that.
one.
It's definitely too late for that for Dad.
Double addicted.
Like I've said on this podcast before, we're at 3. I've caught him 3 times masturbating in my life.
I don't
3
need to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Okay, I'm just telling
That's
you.
awesome.
3 times.
Look, you know what?
That should actually
You know
be
what?
kind of illegal.
I knew you were watching, and I sensed a being.
Honestly.
Yeah, look, I tell you what it is. Great mate Crowe gave me some good advice. He went 12 months without drinking, as Jackal testimony too.
Actually,
No, he tried.
He only went about 8 months, and then his son Tommy, who was having a bet with him, wanted to have a beer with him one night. So he said, "I'll give you the money back, and we'll just quit. We'll just have a quit."
Now, 8 months is good. I said to Crow, he said to me about 2 weeks in, he said, "Hey, you're traveling." I said, "You know what? It's a novelty. I feel really good. I feel like clear-headed." And he said, "You know when the tough time will come?" He said, "It'll be about a bit over a month in, and that will be the normal, where the novelty of waking up fresh will just be the normal, and that's when you feel like having a beer." That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I went a couple of times. Jackie said, "I'm going to go to a dark place." I went to a couple of dark places over the course of the weekend, and a bloke just gave me a tip and said, "Whenever you feel like that and you've got to change your mindset, look down and discuss the colour of your shoes." So I looked down, and when you know it, I had no shoes on. Right? And I went, "Look at those sweet little toes."
You need a hobby, Colin.
Yeah,
you
you
need
do.
to do something.
I think I'm going to organise a golf game for you.
I don't. I hate golf.
You know how hard it is.
Say that.
You know what? I'm just going to stick to masturbating.
It's the greatest hobby of them all.
It is.
Come join
Why
me.
don't you
I'm an
garden?
owner user.
Why
What?
don't you garden? Why don't you do something useful?
It's hard for Dad.
Learn to
'cause
build.
It's so hard for Dad because he has no ability to do like handiwork stuff.
Yeah.
So that's off the table.
Yeah.
His hands sort of stop him from learning an instrument.
Trish, have you seen his fingers?
Yeah, I have. They're
And he-
very
he
small.
Sure has.
Can't do anything with technology, so it rules that out. I
Yes,
don't
he
know.
can. He's just got to dedicate the time.
I just don't know what he
Guys,
could
I'm
possibly-
here.
People, can you please send in some suggestions, a hobby for Matt? He literally has no hobbies.
Yeah.
Just trying to think.
Except for
Trying to think.
exercising, and he's been over exercising, I
Yeah,
think.
because all I got
do you
to
reckon you could get into some art, Cobber? Do you reckon you could get into art at all?
No.
I oftentimes think that. When I was a kid, I remember listening to classical singing and I thought, I can do that. And then it wasn't until I heard myself on a recorder and went, I can't do that. Same with art. I look at sometimes Jackson Pollock and it just looks like someone's taken a big shit
You could
on a
do
canvas.
that. You could do
That's
that.
because
as
most
well.
of his artworks are as if there's massive
A shit.
shits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
that's
in a
it.
bowl. I'd like to give it a crack. It doesn't look too hard. I mean, you go to some of those museums, it's just a splash of paint on something. And I say, geez, how hard could that be? I said, look at the stroke work. And I'm going, what?
If you, Cobber, I might ask someone else's question again next week, actually. If you, Cobber, were to have 3 rugby league personalities in the game at the moment to stand in front of you and paint, which ones would they be? You can't say Gus Gould.
Okay. 3 rugby league personalities. I'd go Hindy.
Yeah, he'd be good.
Yeah, Hindy.
He can act. He can put it on. when
He
has
can
to.
act, and he's got an interesting body. I would say Sweet Gordon Tallis with that, and I'd paint a younger Gordon with the big wild mane of hair like a lion.
Yeah. Are you going to go just the whole couch, or are you going to go?
No,
anywhere
I'll go
else?
someone else. And I tell you what, Jonathan Thurston. He's got an interesting
Ooh.
face.
That's a weird one.
Or maybe,
What would he be doing? Would he be laughing, Cobber? Or
yeah,
would he-
laughing. Like I've told
He's
a
got
joke.
a great giggle.
I've told a zinger and he's laughing. Or you've said a joke, Jack, and finally nailed one and he's having a laugh and I'm laughing at him laughing. At you.
I started a joke.
Sent the whole world laughing. Yes, but 75 hard. It's going okay. It's lost its novelty, but I'm stubborn. I'm going to dig in there. I've only got how long? 35 days to go.
Yeah, you get
How's
off
the
just
rig?
before
How's the
Magic-
rig looking?
Oh, there's no fat on it.
Yeah, it looks good.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm like one of those
He's-
Steggles chickens, baby.
Yeah,
I'm
you
ready
will
to pluck and eat.
Let me tell you, you'll be start clucking soon because the amount of eggs you are eating is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's going through like 3 cartons a week. You've got to stop.
Yeah.
There is such a thing as too many eggs.
Well,
That's weird, man.
Yeah. He's boiling them like
How do you
8
have
at
your
a time.
How do you have your eggs boiled?
I'll just
boiled.
put a bit of salt on it. Yeah, hard boiled.
But hard boiled.
Bit of salt.
Yeah, too
Way
many
to go.
eggs.
It's
You don't
good.
like
I've never
fried?
been an egg man, and I've just really got into it.
Yeah, well, I'm not buying any more because you're eating too
Oh,
many.
you know what? If it's not my drinking, it's someone else. Like it said the other day, she goes, I'm really worried about you and the eggs. And I went, okay, well, let me get back on the vodka. What about that? You know, you've got to let the man have his way sometimes.
Okay, eat your eggs.
Yeah,
I
you
just don't
can't
want you to
have-
drop off the perch.
You can't have too many eggs. It's fine.
No, you can.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, you actually can.
Okay, explain that to me.
Well, I'll do some research. I'll get back to you.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I know
exactly.
that I have read
Thank
it
you,
before.
Dr.
I
Zhivago.
think they say like 3-4 a week.
Oh, that's old school. That's something you read
maybe. Yeah,
in
thanks.
your it just was at the school reunion,
Yeah.
79 reunion. Just were talking about.
We'll take
That's
our
old
eggs.
school.
We'll take our eggs fertilized.
Yeah,
Thanks.
have word.
Are we ready for Cooper's nasty review as well?
Please do
Are
it.
we going to talk about Charlie's HIA?
Oh yeah, poor Charlie. She was doing our thing we
Your
do our
morning
little
ritual.
in the morning, and unfortunately got her toy, went to jump up on the couch and just went head first. In there.
Yeah, so boink,
She
straight
was
off.
a little. She went for a HIA. She's been 11 days out of the game, but she's looking for the comeback this
Well, I'm
week.
glad we spoke about that. Now we'll get into Cooper's nasty review. Perfect segue. We actually had written down here for Jack to ask it, and Jack was on his phone,
Yeah.
not paying attention. So thanks, Jack. We'll try to get you to take that phone down next time.
No worries.
Now, when we and Trish were driving back yesterday, we rang Jack on the phone over the Bluetooth, and we ended up getting Trish to call Croaks by his nickname Gordo, which Kaylin and Jack came up with, which is Spanish for fat.
Which I didn't know.
Trish didn't know. We stitched Trish up saying, "Oh, call him Gordo. It's his new
Jive
nickname."
talking, I tell you.
And Trish said, "Hey, Gordo," and Croaks bursted out and laughing, but you could tell like it sort of hurt him.
It cut him to the
I
bone.
know.
He was like, "Oh, Trish, I didn't think you'd stoop that low, calling me fat." And Trish said, "Oh, we'll just work on your weight."
I
Anyway,
did not.
Trish, where do you get off? You're an old-fashioned fat shamer.
Oh.
and then it sparked me to think, well, this week for Cooper's Nasty Review, I've been doing mean messages on myself. Let's do a couple of others. So this first one's from Croaks. He actually sent it through to me. I asked him just before, I said, "Do you have any mean messages?" He had one from the weekend, which is handy.
And he played good.
Yeah, what is wrong with him?
Son
Sometimes
of a
it just
bitch.
works. This one, it kind of is a backhanded compliment. Like it's kind of giving him a rap, but also bringing him down. It says, "Your late footwork and offloads won't get you through life, chubby little loser."
Trouble, little loser.
Which I thought
Oh.
was brilliant.
Oh, my God.
his offload was good on the weekend. Did you see his offload? No looker.
He was very good.
Terrific.
And he
late offload.
deserves it. He's a good man.
And then this one was about you, actually. This was in the comments feed of one of our videos. It said, "Isn't it funny how Matty's made a career out of being carried? First through Joey and his playing career, then Fletch and Hindy post-career, and now through his wife and kids. I just want to clarify something. Trish has nothing to do with Dad being carried. It's all between me and Jack.
Oh, my God.
We're basically lifting the load of both of them. So I just want that to be clarified to most of our listeners."
Even I'm surprised by that.
Yeah.
I just want to say sometimes you've got to be careful, people, what you wish for. I made a comment the other day to Cooper. I said, you know what? I'd like to come on this podcast occasionally and just react. I'd like you to drive it. Cooper hopped into the driver's seat and I can't get him out of it,
Yeah.
basically.
Do you
He
keep
likes
asking
it.
me?
He's good at it. He's good at it.
Yeah, well, that's your opinion, mate.
We'll talk about being in the driver's seat. Jack, you're on fire. Can you give us your 10 to 1?
Yeah, my 10 to 1 this week, I did musician cameos in movies. So not roles,
I love
but
it.
cameos.
Cool.
So the first one I did, it was before he was in the Chili Peppers, but it still counts. Flea in Back to the Future.
Where was he?
Yeah, he was one of the bullies.
He was
back
too.
Yeah, he was in the bit with Biff.
Oh, Biff
in
was
Biff's
back.
gang, yeah.
Yeah, Biff's gang.
Me and Gav are just...
Number 9, I've gone with...
Sorry, Jack. Me and Gav are just looking down at the moment. Like, literally, like Charlie, you might be able to hear it. She is snoring for Australia.
Yeah, thanks,
It's
Jack.
it's that head knock she had.
Would
Sorry,
you mind
Jacko.
giving her a nudge?
Yes.
I've gone with Kanye in Love Guru.
Kanye West.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah,
see
Yeah,
that either.
he was at a Toronto Maple Leafs game in the Love Guru, celebrating in the crowd with Mike Myers. I haven't heard much about Kanye lately. He's been pretty low key.
Well, didn't he marry the girl from Melbourne?
Yeah, I think so. One of the designers of his brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I don't know if he's married. I think he did marry her.
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
he did.
I'm a hopeless romantic, but I just got the feeling that one's not going to last.
I disagree.
Heartbreaker.
I think he's really changed. I think he's on the mend, Kanye.
Well, I hope it's not
we
a
hope so.
tragedy.
Fingers crossed.
Love wins.
Number 8, I've gone with Dave Grohl in the Pick of Destiny, is it?
Yeah.
The Tenacious D movie?
Tenacious D, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He plays the devil in it. He's very good too. The song,
Oh, yeah.
if you haven't heard the song, go and listen to it. It's actually very good. He has a couple of good. He has a good battle against Jack Black in it. Very good.
Number 7, I've gone with Alice Cooper in Wayne's World. This could have easily been a bit higher, but I thought we'd mix it up and give something a bit more interesting down the list.
Yeah, Alice.
This is this is the one where he's sitting there and they walk into his locker, into his green room sort of thing, and they're expecting him to be this wild rock and roller, and then they pretty much get stuck in there for 5 minutes talking about geography from Milwaukee, and he's freaked them out, and they slowly walk out the door.
That's of all the guys who interviewed in Triple M, Him and Tom Jones were the best. Mate, Alice Cooper is such a lovely guy.
Is it Alice Cooper who plays golf every day?
Every day.
To beat his addiction?
It replaced alcoholism.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Is that why you
Should
offered?
try and play golf, Cobber.
Yeah, lawn bowls walk parallel to the clubhouse.
I went number 6, Tom Petty, cameo in Postman.
Oh, was that the Kevin Costner one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's in that for
I
a brief moment.
I love Tom Petty. Rest in
R.A.P.
Rest in peace, old mate.
Yeah.
Number 5, gone Huey Lewis in Back to the Future. He's the teacher that takes him off stage.
Is he?
Oh, wow. Because he was also in duets.
Yeah, well, he starred in duets.
He starred in duets.
Yeah, not a cameo.
It's another one I
Gwyneth.
love. I love him. Paul Giamatti's good in that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Paul
R.I.P.
He's a good actor. He's a low-key actor, Paul Giamatti.
Him in Sideways is just so good.
Number 4, I went with Billy Idol in The Wedding Singer.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent role.
That's one of the great cameos.
Number 3, I went Michael Jackson in Men in Black 3. I went with that one
Was he?
because he happily perceives himself as an alien, which kind of makes sense.
Him and Will Smith in the same room. That'd be interesting.
Number 2, I've gone with David Bowie in Zoolander when they're doing the walk-off, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, he's the judge of the walk-off for him and Owen Wilson.
He just pops out of nowhere. Actually, there's a good interview with Ben Stiller talking about when they were making the movie, they thought they should get someone in there to do it. And he just thought, like, out of nowhere, I'd email David Bowie and he said, he replied straight away and said, where do I have to be?
Wow.
Wow, that's cool.
Which is pretty... and then number 1, now this isn't a cameo, this is actually a role, but me and Dylan watched it today on our day off, and I thought it almost is a cameo because he says all lines in it, and he doesn't do much. I went with Meatloaf in Fight Club.
Oh, yeah.
It's him fight.
He's
I
got the,
forgot he was in it. He was in it till today.
he's got the boobs.
Oh.
Yeah, he got the big titties.
Yeah, he's got
Oh, is he one of the fighters?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I didn't even know
Yeah.
that.
It's
Yeah, then he gets shot in the head at the end. Sorry, spoiler alert.
Here's a question. I did this the other day on the radio show. Would you class Fight Club as an art house cult type film?
Yeah, I think I'd almost classify, like, David Fincher, the director. You look at all his work, like Seven, Zodiac. He's got, like, all his movies are big budget and good cast, but he sort of, the way he works, it's almost like art house.
I think it's like it's almost like a Hollywood art house though.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I would class
Yeah.
art house as like low, like Jack's saying, low budget
Gotcha.
and a bit more like out there.
Listen to an interview with Brad Pitt. He said that he and Edward Norton, when they went to Cannes Film Festival, where it was first shown, they went out the back. They were sitting in their own private area, but it was still amongst all the audience, and they were smoking a joint. And he said they were so stoned, and the French audience just didn't get it. And even their jokes they're doing, like their jokes in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
He said not one laugh. And he said we're the only ones laughing in the theatre. He said we're actually crying. And the guy who ran Cannes went up and abused him and then left. Walked out of the cinema.
No way.
That's a couple of other ones there. Did you know the original 1970s version of Ned Kelly stars Mick Jagger?
Really?
An Australian made film.
I have.
Yes,
yeah, I
it's
did see
Australian
that
made
actually.
film. And
How did that come about? That would be an interesting story.
Yeah, I don't actually know. And then David Bowie, Jack, was he in a movie called The Man Who Fell to Earth?
Yeah, I don't know, Cobber. Do you know?
Yes. No, I think he was, and he was also
Rhetorical.
He was also in Neverending Story or something like that. David Bowie.
Is that the one with the dog?
No, it's the
Flying dog?
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
He was in Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
Oh, he was too.
Yeah.
He was in Labyrinth.
He was, and
Yeah.
extras. He was in extras. In
Yeah,
that
Oh,
TV show.
that's good.
Chubby little loser.
Yeah, poor Ricky.
Okay, we're going to take a real quick break. Ricky, don't lose that number. Okay, welcome back to the podcast. Trishy,
I've got something for you.
Do it, baby.
Okay. They've just announced the world's happiest countries. What do you think came in at number 1?
I reckon it's going to be one of those Nordic countries. I will say Denmark.
No.
Is this the world's happiest?
Yep.
I've got to say Japan.
No.
They're happy. What?
Jacko?
I'm gonna go Norway.
No.
Okay.
Denmark came in at number 2. Finland for the 6th year in a row.
In a row.
We need to go to Finland.
I disagree.
Apparently.
So Helsinki, is Innsbruck in Finland or
Don't
is
know.
Innsbruck is Austria? I don't know.
I don't know.
Finland is one of those countries that I've never had the want to go there.
No, but apparently.
Sweden, yes. Norway, yes. Denmark,
You
yes.
should go,
Denmark, yeah.
Cobber, and take a Dolphins jersey with you.
Oh, they love the Dolphins.
Can I just
Finland.
ask a question? How do you judge the happiest country?
I'm not sure what the criteria is.
Is it based off how happy?
Would it be like an all-round socioeconomic thing, or would it be a healthcare system thing? What are we talking?
Yeah,
about?
I'm not sure.
I think
The
all those
article
factors.
didn't- yeah,
I think it'd be
it would have to,
I think it'd be
really.
crime because
Yeah, crime.
Brian's he went to Denmark and Norway, said it was just sensational. And they're known for use of a better term, tolerance. Like if someone's had a few drinks on the street and all the rest of it, you don't get roughed up as such. You get
Looked after.
Looked after.
Yeah. Like Iceland came in at number 3.
Yeah, I'd love to get Iceland.
Israel.
I'd love to go to Greenland.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
there is Greenland.
Yeah, although
Greenland
I really
is
want to
the-
go to Antarctica. That's my goal at the moment.
Trish wants to take
It's
me
very
on a cruise
expensive,
to
though.
Antarctica.
Super
Honestly,
expensive.
Just penguins and ice. Like honestly,
And whales, and no, it'd be pretty amazing.
I think it'd be a cool experience, though.
I think it'd be.
I think you should do it once.
Great, do it. You
Yeah.
do it.
Okay.
No problem.
You
All right,
pay?
You go.
Yeah, you pay. I'll go.
May not. Those days are over. What are some other ones, Trish?
Israel came in at number 4.
That's surprising.
Tel Aviv, see. And,
But I
Yeah.
would have thought for
Which
a
is-
place that has experienced a lot of war.
Yes,
Wow.
and there's a lot of tension there.
Yeah, well,
That's,
hey, I didn't make
I'm
this
very,
up, mate.
I'm very skeptical about how they've judged it.
Yeah, I would actually like to know how they've judged it. But apparently, did you know that Tel Aviv is one of the most expensive cities in the world? I didn't know
yes,
that.
it is because there's so many billionaires there.
Yeah, so much wealth, I guess.
Mm.
Number 5, Netherlands. Number 6, Sweden. New Zealand came in at number 10.
Yeah, I get that. I think the Kiwis have
They're
a
happy.
better sense of humour than Aussies these days. They
Well,
make better movies.
Australia came in at number 12.
Number 12. Well, that's pretty happy.
I said, Matt, if we break up, I'm moving to New Zealand.
Okay, so when are you moving there?
We'll see.
I can organise something.
What are you organising?
Okay, where would I move to? That's a really good question. Originally I was thinking about moving to Yonkers, which is a sort of rundown area outside of New York. Then I just had a look at the real estate there and thought, yeah, maybe
Why don't you
not.
move to Massachusetts?
Why Massachusetts? Where did you grab that and throw it
I
up?
I just like the sound of the word.
Because
Sounds good. Massachusetts.
it's a great name. American cities have great names. Like Philadelphia is a great name for a city.
Minnesota,
Minnesota.
Mm.
Philadelphia.
Multi-syllable.
Philadelphia,
Like San Francisco,
yeah,
Los Angeles,
Tennessee.
Yeah, it's like the cities. I don't know.
Words.
Were you saying Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Is it not Massachusetts?
No.
It is. Okay, Dangerous Dave has just given me
Oh,
the
I'm
thumbs up.
sorry.
You've left the T out. All right, it's Massachusetts. I was wondering what was going on over there. Eh?
Okay, give me the main city in Massachusetts.
I don't know.
Come on, have a guess. Come on, try to guess.
Do you know it?
Yeah, I do know it.
This isn't.
I
Cooper's
can't-
quiz isn't yet.
Yeah, I just can't believe
Yeah, I've
that I
got no
put you
idea
through
too.
an
I
education.
want to know this.
Boston.
Oh, of course. Boston, Massachusetts.
Jesus Christ, you
Yeah,
guys
true.
are f***ing goats. Unbelievable.
Yeah, how that's poor form, Trish and Coop.
Well, let's talk about some micro or macroeconomics, Matthew.
Sorry.
Yeah,
this will be good.
exactly. So you just go and look at your maps.
What's
brother.
our next
Okay,
little topic?
Jack. What state is Chicago in?
Chicago is in Illinois.
Jack Johnson. That is brilliant. That is
Oh,
that is. You are my favourite son. You are the one.
What can I say? What can I say?
Because Illinois, nearly everyone you ask about that do not get Illinois.
I would
yeah,
never
that
have
was
guessed
yeah
that
me.
one.
That was a good
You just keep reading because what you're doing's working for you.
I got secrets, bro. I got secrets.
I'm going to send you a joke book and then, mate, you're the complete man.
You got all this knowledge, man. Why don't you talk?
Are there still joke books around? Remember when you were a kid and there were those riddle books everywhere?
Yes, they would be. Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Always joke books.
Yeah, are there any around these days?
Yeah, there are.
Are there?
It's a very sensitive
We might
world
get
out there.
some.
If honestly, they want Roald Dahl cancelled, then I can think some joke books that will not get reprinted.
Poor Doctor
Oh, just
Zeus.
keep staying alive.
What's it? Have we got anything else on pop culture?
Yeah. I read the other day that a cruise ship has just opened its book for people to join them for a 3-year cruise around the world. $45,000 a year, 375 points, ports, 135 countries, 7 continents, and it leaves from Istanbul on November 1. Pack your bags, I reckon.
Who's got that much time?
Imagine-
Old people.
Imagine paying
It'd
that
be
money
cheaper
and there's just
than living.
a punish on there. Like imagine getting on a really shit cruise where there's just arseholes from wall to wall.
Yeah, but you don't have to
What if
spend
another
time with them.
pandemic starts?
Pretty sure.
Well, that would be, that's something we'd never have thought of
What
before.
is it
but
about
only-
diarrhea? Like for instance, when a diarrhea breaks out on a cruise ship, everybody gets
Because
it.
they're all eating in communal areas, Matt.
See that for me just
That's-
rubs me out. I just go,
I went on a cruise once and it was pre-pandemic, but there had been a lot of those situations where viruses had run through a ship.
even on
So-
Wild Boys Afloat.
So,
Shout
and
out
they
Joey
had the sanitizers then. So that was pre-pandemic.
Okay.
So they do have precautions in place.
Interesting.
I mean, it's hygiene.
By the way, are you going to Jackson Brown? Did you buy tickets?
Well, I haven't because no one's confirmed that they'll come with me. I desperately want to go. He's here for Blues Fest and he's added a Sydney concert. Want to come with me, Dave? Dave? Someone? Gav, you're not a fan?
Dave and
Mate?
Gav are trying not to meet
Jesus.
your eye. Don't worry, guys. I know what you're thinking.
Oh, okay.
Yes, punish.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, I will sing in your ear the whole time anyway.
Yes.
By the way, I was just I was listening to your Eddie Jones podcast that came out on Monday with your good chats, and can I just say that was one of the best interviews I've ever heard in my damn life.
Oh, I should hear some of my other ones. No, Eddie was awesome. He's very, very good. You can understand, like, wherever he goes, he's very much a player's coach. Like, the players love him. And you do get that. Very, very thoughtful. Had a lot of life experience. Coached everywhere. Just good guy. Got Wendy Harmer coming up next Monday. Hang in there for that. Wendy's a real trailblazer. Was one of the very first of the female stand-up comedians. She's got some great stories about some of the gigs. Talks about going to London and doing a stand-up gig at some of the most notorious joints in London.
Wow.
And surviving that. And then her, of course, transition into television and radio. And just a good sport, Wendy.
I reckon stand-up must be one of the most difficult things to do. Like, if you
Yes.
go up and you sing, you know what you're doing and says me, you know what I mean? But to get up there, you just do not know
And
what you're going to get back from your audience.
And there'll be some days where you just get nothing.
Yeah.
It'd be hard.
Something might fall flat.
I was talking to Wendy about it, and I said, do you, when you're up there, because when you're playing football, you're out there, and I reckon about 15 minutes in, you know when you're not quite on. You dip your toe in the water. Your timing's out defensively, probably not even 15 minutes, 5 minutes in, you're just going, okay, I'm going to have to sort of cruise myself through this or find a way because I'm not as sharp as I should be. I said, is that the same with stand-up, Wendy? She said, yes. And I said, even the very best. And she told a story once. She interviewed Robin Williams, and Robin Williams was just in a really sort of, strange mood and said to Robin Williams, is everything okay? And he said that he did a gig the night before and it just went flat. He died on stage. And you're going, how could Robin Williams die on stage? It just shows you what a tricky art form it is.
Do you know that? But I imagine it's all about your audience and what they get. So if you go to certain areas of a certain type of people, they're not willing to actually buy in. You've got to have your audience buy in, really.
And it's dictated by your mood as well. Like you could be, anything could happen that day. There are days
A lot of
when
factors.
there's not a funny bone in my body just because I'm just not thinking funny at all.
Really?
Thanks,
But
Scoop.
then obviously, I know it's hard for you guys to believe that because every day you guys see me, it seems like I'm cracking zingers everywhere.
Yeah, but
Do you feel like that, Jack? Some days you're just not on with your jokes.
Sorry?
it's good, mate. That's funny.
That is actually funny.
But see, here's the thing: if you're selling yourself, like let's say Billy Crystal live, and we pay good money to go see Billy Crystal, Billy's got to be really bad to bomb because you're there to have a laugh.
Yeah.
The really difficult ones are the nights where, or let's say Montreal Comedy Festival, where a person has to get up in front of a room that hasn't paid money to see them. They're probably there to see someone else. That is the real big test. And things like the Comedy Store and different places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other one too is, Cobber, if you've got an unknown act before you and they kill it.
Oh,
you gotta
yeah.
follow it.
Yeah. Well, that's
And then-
a really big thing in the music industry. Reading a lot of the music biographies, they're saying that when they would tour America with certain big bands, that they would if they were too good, the next night they'd be sabotaged.
Yeah.
Like the lights wouldn't work, the sound was off, and that was being sabotaged as to not basically
Outshine the big boys.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, so that comes out. The Good Chat comes out on the Monday, and remember, through the week we get myself and Cooper Cronk talking all things NRL, and then the family podcast at the back end of the week. So, subscribe, hit that button. You guys know what to do, you crazy kids. You're into it. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with a little bit of what do you make of this with Trish. Hey, welcome back, Trish. What do you got for us, man?
Okay. This week, a principal of a Florida school was forced to resign after the parents of a student who was about 11 or 12 complained after the students were shown a picture of the biblical statue of David.
So what was...
the statue of David.
Please
Very
don't
famous.
tell me they said it was pornography.
Well, it was naked. He's
Oh,
nude.
so was that the reason?
Yeah.
Because
It's one of the
Yeah.
greatest statues still
Religious,
left in the...
historical art. Yeah.
What
this
part of
child
America?
in
Was it
Florida.
down... Well, there you go, down south. I'll tell you, I don't want no Roman statue staring at my kid right between the eyes with his penis.
Well, sorry.
But I can't believe
how
people
old
have
were
a
the kids?
voice. 11, 12?
Oh,
Like about 11, 12?
oh yeah, maybe.
But it's a statue.
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, I don't. Well,
Well,
I
so
wouldn't
these
want my
parents-
kids were looking at a penis.
Yeah.
Well, are these parents never taking their child to an art exhibition?
Museum.
No, not at the 11 and 12 when there's
Well, you did.
flaccid penises around.
You've been taken to the Louvre when you
and
were
look at the
before
damage
that.
it's done to me.
Well, that's true too.
Don't use me
Point.
as an example for how you guys have done a great job parenting.
Yes. Well,
How funny was it when we saw the Mona Lisa and we just sort of looked at it
I went,
for like 2-3 minutes and we're like, pretty small, eh?
I thought the same thing. And that French guy tried to crack onto Trish and said, "I'll come through." Lifted the velvet rope for Trish to walk
That happens
up.
a bit to me.
Yeah, it's
Lifting a velvet rope.
the Mona Lisa. That was on. It's like a. It was painted on like a cardboard type
Actually, I listened to a podcast about that
because
not
it's
long
been
ago.
stolen.
It has been stolen. It only really became famous after it was stolen. Then when it was reclaimed, everyone was lining up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it did a short tour around the world, and then it went to the Louvre, and that's not to
The
move.
brush strokes are bloody amazing.
No, it's underwhelming.
Now, listen, at this point we used to do What's on Matt's Goat, but a little bit something different. Matt bringing you a segment called Hot or Cold. Now, this is as far as popularity and cool factor in the world at the moment. You can answer it like this. You can go hot, or you can go it's hot, but it's cooling, or cold, but it's starting to warm.
Okay.
Okay, let's go through a little bit of this, right? Mustaches.
Hot.
Hot.
I would say hot, but starting to cool.
No, I
think
don't
it's getting
think so.
You don't think so?
No, I think they're hotting up.
Jack?
I've actually gotten rid of the mo at the moment.
That's funny because I can see it.
No, it's just sort of grown. I haven't gone the distinct mo. I think they're starting to go a little bit.
Yeah, starting to fade out. I think so. Which brings me to the next one. Mullets.
Hot.
See, I've gone hot, but cooling.
Nah.
It's been running red hot.
Lukewarm.
Well, where was the peak?
I think it's been.
I think the peak was the hat trick from Pappenhausen and Magic Round. I think that's.
Oh.
I think when old Papsy was getting hat tricks, I think that's mullets.
I'm
at its
telling you
peak.
what, it's coming back up even more.
Do you think?
I tell you right now. Well, I've been rocking this bad boy for a while, and Morgan Wallen coming to town has only just made it even more sexy.
True.
Even
I've been listening
sexier.
to a lot of Morgan Wallen.
I actually hate
I'm
it.
a big
Like,
fan.
I'm thinking about cutting it because I'm so sick of getting all these messages and attention and stuff.
Well,
Well, yeah, okay.
which brings me to the
Sorry.
next one because I said last
More
week.
Major
jive
city
talking.
of Florida.
Because last week I said about the footy shorts, how I reckon they'll become hot again. What about this one? A shaved head, number 2 or number 3. Now, that is cold at the moment, but I reckon I'm anticipating that there will be a bounce back. In 12
Well-
months, I reckon it'll be hot.
Well-
I'm looking at Dave at the moment. Dave basically doesn't have a follicle on his head, and he's going red hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be
I-
popular amongst a certain...
I think they're. I don't even necessarily agree that they're cold. I think they're sitting somewhere in between. I don't think they're hot. I don't think they're cold. They're sitting right.
I think they're a
dead center.
necessity.
Yeah, I think there's so many people that have it.
Okay. What about this one? Let's go to personalities. Robbie Williams. I'm going to say stone cold.
Yeah, I'm going to say he's cold as right now.
Oh, really? Well, I'm going to see him at
So
the end of the year.
you say cold, and then you hear the start of Angels, and then he's hot
Yeah,
again. You know what I'm saying?
and strong and all his great
Okay,
songs.
well, you tell me,
Yeah,
what
just
do you-
haven't. Yeah, no. Well, I'm going to see him at the end of the year. I still really love him.
Well, he's cold.
So-
he's
He's-
cold just because we haven't heard of him.
Yeah, that's right. No, because he hasn't been touring.
Yeah, I'm just sort of over it.
But what about he was here for the AFL Grand Final and everyone was raving about him and sold all the tickets? Nah.
Okay, what about this one?
You've been to see him 2 times.
Yeah, but that was 30 years ago.
It
20
wasn't.
years ago it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
It was 20 years ago. It was 20 years ago since we went and saw it.
Yeah, it was 20 years.
Yeah, there you
How
go.
old are you, Cobber?
Me, 41. How old are you, Trish? Don't answer
42.
that. Okay,
I'm a year
we're at
older
this
than you,
one.
so 42,
This is
that
going to be
makes me-
controversial.
Will it?
Adele, in my opinion, hot, but I think she's cooling rapidly. You
I
can't be that. You can't be running that hot for so long.
I agree. She needs to come out with She just came out with another album like 4 months ago. She needs another.
No, it's longer than that. Last year.
Jesus, way longer than that.
Yeah, it was last year.
Sorry, guys.
But she's doing a residency in at Vegas at
Yeah.
the moment.
Well, she needs to get back into fashion soon, or else she's going to be stone cold.
I think she's got her clientele, honey. I don't
Well,
think
what do you
she's got
think?
anything to worry about.
What do you think she is, Trish?
She's a bit like a Celine Dion. She'll just punch out another album and people will buy it.
So what are you
Answer it.
saying?
I think she's hot and I think she's maintaining her heat.
Okay, Barley, guys. Jack Johns, Barley. What do you think?
I think hot. I see people planning trips already to go on to Bali in the next few months.
No.
In the next few.
Nah, Bali's cold, man. COVID's put a real slump on Bali, man. You know I love
Okay,
Mary.
man.
You know I love Mary, man.
Okay, this one, Trish. I'll get an interesting take on this. Kim Kardashian style backsides. In my opinion, I think it's starting to cool.
Yeah, I think it's starting to
It was
cool.
so red hot for a long time, and I feel sorry for the people that have gone out there and got butt implants.
Well,
We've been
there's
squatting for the last 4 years, and suddenly, all of a sudden, small backsides are in. I mean,
Yeah.
where do you go with this?
I don't think small backsides will ever be in.
What?
No. Sorry to disappoint.
they were part of our life.
Coming from one of the smallest backsides in the rugby league
I'll put
competition.
my hand up as the smallest ass in the NRL. And
More squats,
so I'm
son.
allowed to. I'm happy with my ass. Thank you very much. I'm not looking for that big juicy ass. You know who has one of the great asses? Just quietly that we always talk about in the locker room. Morgan Boyle,
So that's Millie's brother?
Millie's brother, has one of the most plump bottoms I've seen on a man.
Luscious.
It's just like
Who does he play for?
manly.
Oh, does he?
What makes a good ass?
Thanks for that, Trish.
Shape.
Is it the shape?
Yeah.
Oh, I think so. I don't know.
I think it's the perkiness, the
I'm not
shape.
an-
There's different factors.
Yeah, probably perky. I don't know.
Size.
I don't really look at
As
asses.
a teenager, girls say to me, "You had a nice ass," and bugger me. I
Did
used
they
to
say
always,
that to you?
Yep, I used to always try to turn around and look, but I could never do it.
I used to
wanted
like your
sp-
thighs. Remember you had those short shorts when we first met?
Yeah,
and I used to
I
always go,
remember.
I really like those shorts on you.
Yeah, irresistible. Okay, so Kim
Good fellas,
Kardashian
though,
backside, Coops. What are you thinking, man?
I think they're hot.
Do you?
Ew.
Thanks. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're ridiculous.
Okay, we're at this one.
If
And
you can put a
girls,
plate on someone's ass, that's not normal.
lip fillers. In my opinion, it could not be colder. Girls that you're out there, don't do it. You look like Daffy Duck. Honestly, these shows like MILFs,
Only when they get
MAFs,
too much.
but
Only
honestly,
when they get too much.
all
Sorry,
those
is it
shows.
MILFs or MAFs?
Did you just say Guys, I was
that's the
talking.
new show.
I was talking about Anthony Milford and his display the other night. No, those maths and that. All those girls look the same.
Oh, they do.
It just.
Well, actually, that's a fair point. When you talk about Kim Kardashian, the bums, the lips, there is a whole generation of girls who just come out looking the same. There's nothing special about them. They look the same. They look good, but they all look the same. There's
Same.
nothing identifying about them. What happened to like someone looking special? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's my opinion.
You're special, Trish.
Well,
And last one, and Coop, you might be best to answer this one because you are the sort of fad man. You went through one of these fad crazes. Basketball singlets.
Nah.
They're
Nah.
cold.
They are cold. They're
Freezing.
cold. I look at someone whoever's wearing them, unless you're wearing it like as a joke or at a game.
A joke.
Jane.
Yeah, like a funny joke.
Love your Charlotte Hornets singlet there, Coops.
Oh, don't worry, he had a collection.
That'd be. I would never get a Charlotte Hornets singlet. Though.
Okay, what about what sports shirts or what sports gear is hot at the moment? No,
Oh, I would say NFL jerseys are always pretty good.
See, I think NFL jerseys, that's a big commitment. To walk around with an NFL jersey on how big they are.
Yeah, but they're kind of fashionable. Like these days. They're
Okay,
kind of
what's
fashionable.
the fashion? What's the most fashionable one of all the NFL jerseys? Do you think?
Oh, the Raiders is always a good one. That's the one I
Raiders.
always circle just because of what NWA
Canberra
did for it.
Raiders. I can't believe that.
Yeah, the silver and black.
Yeah, the silver and black.
Yeah.
And Kansas City has been. Yeah, I see a lot of people wearing
I
that
like
at the
that.
moment.
Mahomes.
The red.
Mahomes.
Yeah, Mahomes only come to quarterback play later on. I read the other day because coming up, he always wanted to be a baseballer because his dad was a major league baseballer.
Really?
And they went in and they said when they first saw him play, this scout, he went and said, "Oh my God, look at this bloke!" And they said, "Oh, he's got a lot to learn. He's so unorthodox." And he goes, "Don't change a thing.
Really?
Yep, don't change him." Cooper, what do you got for us, mate? Is it quiz time?
It is. The Quizmaster's got something pretty special for our listeners today. They've requested we do a draft. Okay. Now the draft style, it's going to be a 1, 6, 7, 9 spine draft, all-time NRL. All right, we've had a few people request this. They want to get our opinion on our all-time spine. It's going to start with Jack. For example, for our listeners, whoever he picks, he's now off the board. It'll go Jack, Trish, Matt, to me, who will pick twice, and then back in a snake-style format. Jack, kick us off, please.
Okay, I'll go with fullback Billy Slater.
Great pick. What a great player.
So am I doing fullback?
You can pick at one. You get to pick whichever first.
What position did Arthur Beetson play?
He was for front rower, Trish. He was a ball player, but if you're going to put him somewhere, you put him at 6. But but Arthur was more of a forward.
Okay, all right, okay. You know what? I'm going to go number 1, Pappenhausen. I actually love watching him.
We're going to need to be a bit quicker, I think, if we're going to get through all 13.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, we're only doing 4.
only doing 4.
1, 6, 7, 9, brother. The spine.
Oh, right.
The
spine.
creative.
Yeah.
Sorry, all good.
My number 1, there's a couple up for grabs there. You know, I'm going to go Matty Bowen.
Wow.
Like Matty Bowen, for
yeah.
years when he was so dominant at the Cowboys, they were a struggling side for a lot of time. For a lot of that time, he deserved to win a grand final, and I think if you put him in a really strong lineup from the get-go, he would have been seriously one of the greats.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with my hooker.
Yep.
I'm going to go Cameron Smith.
Ah.
Fellow teammate of mine, arguably the greatest player of all time. And then I'm just going to take, with my second pick, I'm just going to take straight off the board, I think, the second best player of all time, our uncle, your brother. So I'm going to Joey and Smithy.
Okay. My halfback, I'm going to go Ricky Stewart. Ricky Stewart, because like of his coaching exploits and he's more known as a coach now, sort of covers up or makes people forget what an incredible player Ricky was. To play against Ricky, honestly, he just conducted everything. He was amazing.
Okay, I'm going to be controversial. My number 9 is going to be Munster. I liked watching him
Sorry.
when he
Sure,
was
what, sorry?
hooker. Munster.
He's never played hooker.
Shit, didn't he?
Um,
Are you sure?
okay.
Put him at 6.
Yeah, she ain't no Trent Robinson, people.
He plays numbers. You can either have a repick or. Jeez.
Yeah, I'll go number 6, Matthew Johns.
Yes, great choice.
Oh my God, what a waste of pick.
Yeah, like, where's this going?
Yeah,
Jack.
I'll go 7-6 Thurston and Fittler.
Oh, nice pick. Great combination. Jack, you've got a nice little team assembling there too.
It's okay. Back to you, Trish.
Okay, I'm going number 7, Laurie Daly.
Oh,
You know what?
okay.
What's wrong now?
He doesn't play.
Laurie usually played. Do you know what? You can have that.
In the halves?
Yeah.
You just do the left
You
and the
know,
right
you-
halves these days. It's fine.
She's got a point. I tell you, me and Laurie in the halves.
Don't forget Paps at the back. Wow.
Old Papshish. Yes.
Yeah, but I'm missing a hooker.
Yeah. Don't worry, it'll come back around here.
Okay.
Okay, so I need a number 6. Don't pick yourself.
Or a 9.
No, you can't pick yourself.
Okay, number 9, I'm going to go for Benny Elias, the man who changed the hooker position.
Great pick. Great pick. I'm going to go, okay, I've got my 6 and 1. I'm going to go my number 1. I'm just going to take Lockyer there. Darren Lockyer at number 1.
Yeah.
Tremendous player.
Wonderful,
Wow.
wonderful player.
Wonderful. And then number 6, I'm going to take, I think, arguably one of the best number 6 of all time, Wally Lewis.
Oh, of course. How the hell did I forget the king? Oh, man. Okay. And what I'm doing is I'm just soaking up time, just sitting
Hurry
there
up.
looking up and thinking who I can.
Hurry up.
Jesus Christ. Okay, my number 6. I'm going to go for our man Cameron Munster.
Oh, great pick.
Um,
Darryl Broman. No, Trish, you never played in them.
I'm tossing up between Brandon and Harry Grant. It's a bit of I'm torn.
Okay, just pick one.
Brandon, take
Wow.
him.
Brandon
Take
Smith.
him my little cheese,
Righto.
my little slice of cheese.
Okay, let's run through our team.
And then Jack's got his last one.
I got to pick a hooker. What are your hookers again?
Benny Elias, Cameron Smith.
And Brandon.
Brandon Smith.
Harry Grant's
Danny
available.
Badiris, number 9.
Oh, great
Who
pick.
do you pick?
Danny Badiris.
Ah, okay.
Wow,
Cooper,
great
read
pick.
your spine.
My spine, Darren Lockyer, Wally Lewis, Andrew Johns, Cameron Smith.
That's strong. What about you, Trish?
Pappenhausen, M. Johns, Laura Daly, and Brandon Smith.
What a team. What a team.
Wow.
Jack Johns?
I've gone Billy Slater at the back, number 9, Danny Badiris, and my halves are Thurston and Brad Fittler.
That's a good
Wow.
side. That's a good
Go on,
side.
read yours out.
I've got Benny Elias at hooker, Ricky Stewart at halfback. My 5/8 was Cameron Munster, and my fullback was Matty Bowen.
Wow.
Highlight reels there.
Couple of great
Okay,
rugby
who
league
wins?
players.
Okay, whose teams
GI,
went-
GI
who's-
was good to get left out
Well,
then.
this is
Who got left out?
Greg Inglis. Geez, that was...
Oh, gee,
Inglis.
I
there.
Cliffy Lyons left out? No, how do you do that?
know it's
Well,
pretty hard. to
Anybody,
think.
any opinions or we're going to do a little poll. Just go to whatever the last post is on my Instagram. Just go and comment on it. Who you thought won this, and we'll tally it up and we'll announce the leader
Cooper, that was
next week's one.
I think your draft, we should do it at other sports and everything.
I thought that was really boring. I hated it.
Well,
Well, that's right. You can have
I hated it.
looking at your
We do,
side,
we do a few different topics. We do Simpsons characters. We've got a little group chat going at the moment with a few boys.
yeah,
Okay.
It would be good. It's good to do. If you're going to do Simpsons characters, Cobber, who's your fullback?
my fullback would be Millhouse.
Why is that?
I have absolutely no idea.
Who's the guy that runs the pub?
Mo Sislak.
Yeah.
So you got to have more thought into it, Cobber.
Yeah.
See, I would go Disco Stu because he's used to looking at the high ball, but usually the ones he's looking at have reflective light.
So that's good. That's clever. I'll go.
Good on his feet, you know.
Good
Okay.
on his feet.
Righto. Trish, just a little bit of feedback for us.
What have I got? Simon sent a special message through to you, Matt. He was staying on Sumba Island in Indonesia last week,
Yep.
and he bumped into Sting, and he said to say g'day.
Oh, God. My old mate Steve.
Your old mate. So it must be some sort of herby-jerby yoga island because Sting's into that. I've not heard of Sumba, and because I can't imagine Sting would surf. Yeah.
He's a Geordie, you know. He's an unlikely Geordie.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a Newcastle upon Tyne boy.
is he?
He's a little too earnest for that. But anyway,
Okay.
nonetheless.
Sally can confirm Thursday night is the big uni night in Brisbane. All 4 of her kids head out.
Oh, do they?
So yeah, it's
Well,
Thursday night.
in
Brisbane.
Sydney, at the unis I was at too in Sydney, it was Wednesday night, and at
in
Newcastle,
now.
Argyle Wednesdays, Trish.
Hey, Jacko,
Okay.
the DMAs are playing Bar on the Hill later this year at in Newcastle Uni. Just give you a little bit of background on that one.
Thanks, boss.
Background or inside?
Yeah, but either doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a little spot where you can listen to music
Yeah.
on the hills.
On the
Certainly
hill,
is.
the
I went and
Bar
saw
on the
the Living End there one morning. It was a morning gig, and it was nuts.
That's weird.
Anything else, Trishy?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I did it again, people, and no one picked it up.
What?
I dropped lyrics from a certain band today.
Oh,
A number of them, about 7.
Cannibal Corpse.
So you obviously didn't get it.
no, I didn't.
And don't try and guess now. You can
Yep.
talk to me later. So to our listeners, it's another competition, and this time,
I do know now.
sent me. You do,
Yeah, because I remember. No, I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
But you said a word earlier,
Yes.
and I was about to sing it because it was a song that I said a few weeks back. All right.
Okay.
5 seconds of summer.
So shush you. So Matt, can we give a couple of tickets away to your Thursday night show?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So that's surprise. So send me your responses, and I'll randomly pick one winner, 2 tickets to Matt's Thursday night show, where you pick someone out of the audience and they have the opportunity to win $2,000.
We have a segment called All or Nothing now,
Yeah.
an opportunity
So-
for
That's
an
been a
audience
very
member.
sad segment the last couple of weeks.
It has
Oh, no.
been.
Oh,
So
some people have won it.
Yeah, in 4 weeks we've had 2 winners worth $2,000. And the thing of it is, you don't want to corrupt the competition. So we say to the boys, and T's and C's apply in this, so you can't cheat. Is the last thing you want is doing a quiz where there's suspense, but every single week they win, and
Yeah.
you go, "Oh, look, come on, mate, it's Gordon Towers."
Yeah,
No, it's got to be
Real.
Yeah,
But
it's
a few
gotta be
people have
real.
won, haven't they?
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
had 2 winners and
Yeah,
2
it's great.
losers.
Poor Gordon's been under the pump.
Oh, sweet.
He won when I saw.
He won.
I think Hindy didn't.
No.
Yeah.
Hi-
A lot of pressure on
If
the
you're
boys,
out there, don't
actually.
select Hindy. You know, when I look over at Hindy, when the audience member is going to select one of the boys, Hindy is looking down,
Doesn't
not
want to be
looking
picked.
like, please don't pick
Do
me.
you know what you should do? You should give the boys an opportunity to ask a questions one week and you be on the couch as an option.
Trish, listen. It's like saying, like Tony Barber or Ian Turpin, let someone else can tell. It's
Sorry.
called the Matty John Show, right?
Oh,
Okay. Thank you. That's all we got time for this week.
Hang on, I do have a tip for people.
Jesus Christ.
I went to wash my water bottle was I've recently started using a metal reusable water bottle, and
Great.
it was I was tasting a little weird, so I rinsed it out and then I put my finger in and it was a bit slimy.
That's
So
all we got
wash
time for.
your water bottles properly. I've got to buy a proper bottle washer.
Okay.
Yeah, don't just think you can rinse them and that's fine. That's all I was doing. You need to actually get a.
Have a great week, everyone.
Scrub
Have
around there.
a really good
You
week.
don't want to be catching
And
anything.
That's it. Look after your water bottles, people. You heard it from the boss. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Jones is